What's up, you guys? It's your girl Haley, and today I'm doing a very fun little Q&A on my dating life. Before we dive in, go ahead and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, go follow me over on Instagram. I'm a lot more active over there. You can find me at The Haley Kenyon, and also go read my blog, haleykenyon.com. I have a lot more of my expanded thoughts over there. And if you want to check out where I work, Heart of Dating at Heart of Dating on Instagram. It's an incredible Christian dating community, and you should go check them out. We even launched a virtual singles ministry last month, and it's been, actually, just kidding, we launched it this month, and it's been so amazing. We have so many Christian singles already that are just building relationship, diving into community, and it's a blast over there. So go to join thesinglesacademy.com. All right, so I have an NGL link, and I have got so many questions about dating, and I thought, you know what, today is going to be the day that we sit down and we answer them. Okay, question number 1, are you single? Yes, I am single. And when I answered this on Instagram, I said I'm single, yes, and also dating. And let me provide a little bit of background information on that. So I am very single. I have been single since 2019. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in like a legit relationship, which is totally which is totally fine, because God's been just moving and grooving in my life, and I've learned a lot through dating. So right now though, I'm in a completely different season than I've ever been in probably than I've ever been, where I'm not really actively dating right now. I'm not on dating apps. I'm kind of just like living my life and seeing what happens. I did something similar to this in 2020 where I didn't go on any dates, intentionally didn't go on any dates for an entire year. And I was coming out of a really rough season and just needed some time to heal. But now it's very interesting because I am like in a spot where I want to, like, I'm open to meeting somebody, and I like really wanted to pray before I like got back on Hinge. And I just felt so strongly in my spirit that the Lord was like, you need to wait. Like, now is not the time, you need to wait. I said, okay, I trust you. So that's where we're at in this moment in time on August 18th as I film this video. Next question, what is your relationship pet peeve? That is a really good question. I'm gonna have to think about that for a sec. Okay, I will say, because it's been a long time since I've been in a relationship, and I have changed so much since then, so I really don't think that if I were in a relationship now, it would look anything like my previous relationships, just because of how much I've healed and grown in this season. And so I would have to say that dating wise, my pet peeve is a guy just doesn't know how to make plans. Like, oh my gosh, I used to, like, in my early relationships, I loved planning stuff. I loved like making things for them and planning dates and setting up picnics and all of these things. Like, very early on in the dating stages, I had this like desire to perform for them. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, if you want to take me out, like if you want to pursue me, like it's got to be on you, bud. Like, obviously I will reciprocate if I'm like in a committed relationship with someone. So when guys want to go on a date but don't really have a plan, or they're like really insecure about making a plan. Next question, what's your type when it comes to guys? This is a very interesting question, because the guys I ended up being in relationships with are not necessarily the type of guys that I thought I was into, like in high school and stuff. I always thought I would end up with someone that was like an athlete or really smart. I literally always said I wanted an NBA player doctor. And the guys that I ended up being in relationships with, one was like a filmmaker and another one was a worship leader. And so I've ended up being with these like really creative, artistic kind of guys. A lot of the guys that I have dated or gone on dates with tend to be a little more artistic, usually have some kind of creative outlet, or are into ministry in some capacity, whether they're youth pastors or youth leaders or young adult pastors. It's just an interesting trend that I've seen in my life. And it's funny because it's like genuinely not something I'm like chasing after, but always just kind of ends up happening. Would you date a shorter guy? I am open to it, and I'm open to it. So my first boyfriend was definitely shorter than me. My second boyfriend we were probably like I really think I was a little bit taller than him. He might have been a little bit taller than me with his hair and if he wore the right shoes. But I think we were either like the exact same height or he was a little bit shorter than me. And so I have dated shorter guys. Now I'm in this phase where I would prefer not to. However, knowing myself, I know that if it's like the right person and everything's lined up and I am like attracted to them like outside of just their height, like physically, like I'm attracted to the way they look, I'd consider dating a shorter guy again. It's not something that I am like absolutely not, but it would be nice. It's one of those things where I'm like, I would prefer to be with somebody that's like at least my height or a few inches taller. Preferably, most preferably a few inches. This question cracks me up and we gotta talk about it. Also, there's gonna be a podcast episode coming out on the Heart of Dating where Kate and I sit down and we talk about if you're eliminating people based on height. It's really, you should check it out when it comes out because it's gonna be good. Why would you only date tall guys? Referring back to the previous question, I would not only date tall guys. And the other thing is that, you guys, I am 6'1". Like I am 6'1", with some big feet, with some big hands, and I don't really feel like I need to be protected in any way, shape, or form, but it is definitely one of those things where I'm like, I do want to feel feminine, and it doesn't mean that the man has to be hugely tall. So I don't know where this information came from because anyone who knows me knows I've dated shorter guys, but moving right along. That was kind of sassy. Sorry. For in a guy. So I would say what I'm looking for is definitely somebody who's just like really fun loving and genuinely sweet. Like I think that's something I do want, is a guy that is comfortable with his emotions and knows how to express them, especially toward me and the people he loves. And I want someone that is just like genuinely a fun person to be around. I have been with people in the past that they're fun to be around. They're very charismatic. They're very bold, driven, like leader type. And just through like conversations with my family and stuff, I think I've gotten to this point where it's like, I'm a very driven and ambitious person myself. And I don't necessarily need someone with that amount of ambition. It's actually kind of funny. I was like talking to God about this recently in the last few months and have just been feeling so strongly that the kind of like leader that I'm going to marry, like I want to be led in fun, and I want to be led in love, and I want to be led in adventure and led in a good time. That I'm not necessarily looking for like someone that's like the most ambitious like CEO I've ever met, because I think for me personally, I just want to be with someone that genuinely can enjoy life, and I trust so much that like God is going to align our steps and our paths. Like I have big ambitions and big dreams for my life, and I trust that God is going to give me a partner in those. And leadership can look differently, and I just want someone that's going to lead me closer to Jesus, that's going to lead me in love and lead me in fun. And I'm also looking for somebody who enjoys an active lifestyle, who likes being by the beach, who's a people person, because I love people and I love being around people, and I can be around people all day long. Like that's literally like just people person. And so if I were to be with someone that doesn't really like being around people, that doesn't like hosting people, having people over, going to events, like going out, things like that, I don't think it would work out very well for us. So I am looking for a more extroverted, social type person. I would say I am looking for someone who does, like, because I was saying earlier about how like my type has been like more artsy kind of guys. I would say I'm looking for someone who appreciates it. Like, I don't need someone to be like a worship leader in order for me to date them, but I am looking for someone who can appreciate those things with me, because for me, one of my most favorite ways to just relax and unwind is like to go somewhere and just spend a lot of time there presently, like taking photos, taking videos. Whether or not I even end up doing anything with the content, it's just so relaxing and healthy for me to be present and like view my environment very creatively. And yeah, so someone who was like, that's stupid, I don't think a lifetime with them would be the best for either of us. Do you have a crush on anyone? No, at the moment I really don't. Are there a couple people that I'm like, if they ask me out on a date, would I say yeah? Absolutely. But I don't really think I have like a crush. Like, I'm not hashtag crushing right now. Next question. If you could have a significant other with a certain job, what would it be? Okay. I think this is like dream situation. Dream situation. I want to be with somebody that also has a flexible schedule, potentially owns their own business. I used to like have this dream as a little girl of marrying like a photographer, because I was like, oh my gosh, every vacation I went on would be so cool. Like, I vividly remember being, gosh, probably like 14 years old, and my family was at Bernie Falls in Northern California, and I just like was walking down the trail. We were walking down the waterfall, and I was like, wow, I really hope I marry someone that's like a photographer. I think that'd be so cool. So I guess it doesn't have to be their job then, does it? It can be a hobby. With that said, I would absolutely love to be with somebody that does have a flexible schedule, that's like a little bit more entrepreneurial or a freelancer. I just really value freedom. I really value being able to have a little bit more choice and power over my life and my schedule. And so if I could also be with somebody that has a similar kind of thing going for them, I think that'd be really fun, especially when I look more into the future as far as like raising kids and that kind of thing. I just think it would be a blast, and be able to like plan vacations and, you know, split responsibilities around the house, or if I end up homeschooling, like, I don't know, it just seems like really fun. Dating age range, let's say like 23 to 29. At this moment in time, if I had to like peg it, it'd be 23 to 29. Say I was like on a dating app, like that would be the range that I would select. This is a good one, and it's a funny one, and I don't know if I should be honest or if I should just give something. What's the first thing you notice in a man? Eyes, smile, hair. Those are like, I gotta be attracted to all those. Eyes, smile, hair. Outside of that, hands. Hands are something that I look at. I've been exposed by myself. Yeah, I do look at hands because MVP moment, I have big hands myself, and you know, it's just like a little awkward as a girl when you're holding a guy's hand and you feel like you're holding a child's hand. So I'm like, a guy that has nice hands, it's just nice. It's just nice, okay? So don't hate me for that. Don't cancel me for that. It just is what it is. I'm a tall queen. That's it. Are the guys you're dating from an app, or did you meet them in real life? So over like the last year, probably more specifically since like February, a lot of the guys I've gone on dates with I've met them through these Christian dating mixers that I was helping host, and they're called the If You Know You Know dating mixers. Go check them out because they travel all over, and they're like these singles mixer game night kind of things, and you can meet some really awesome people there. So I went on a few dates with guys from there. I've gone mostly on dates with guys from dating apps, and my favorite is Hinge. I absolutely adore Hinge. I think it's the best dating app ever. And I also like, no, that's honestly, if I had to recommend one, I'd say just get on Hinge. I don't love Bumble because I don't like being the one that has to initiate conversation as a girl. And Upward, I haven't had very good experiences there, but I've met some really cool people on Hinge. And in real life, I've met a few guys just through like ministry stuff. Like when I was a youth director, I met like one guy at camp, two guys at camp actually. And yeah, so I've met like a few people in like the ministry world in person, but yeah, nothing like really crazy outside. Ooh, a geographical question. Would you relocate for relationship before getting engaged? So would I move somewhere that was someone that I was in a relationship with before we were actually engaged? But right now, with where I'm at in life, I don't think I would. I don't think I would. And here's why. I am literally living my dream life right now. I mean, God has blessed me and allowed me to live in San Diego, California, which is my dream city. And I really don't think that unless I was engaged and I clearly knew that God was like calling me to live somewhere else with this person, that I would move. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm chilling in San Diego for the foreseeable future, and I'm open, like I'm open to moving somewhere else wherever the Lord calls me, but right now I don't see that happening. If anything, I could see myself meeting someone and they end up moving to San Diego, because hello, literally America's finest city. Hope that answers your question. Would you ever consider dating someone who lives in a different state? Yes, I have considered dating someone who lives in a different state. I would consider dating someone who lives in a different state. I would not 100% say that I am interested in moving to a different state, because I love California. I don't care how much hate she gets. I'm a California girl through and through. Are you a virgin? Dun, dun, dun. I am abstaining. I am celibate as a Christian woman. There's so much more layers to that, so much more of a backstory, but I will be talking about it on The Heart of Dating for the first time ever publicly. So check it out. That episode is going to come out. It's all about the negative effects of purity culture, and that's going to be a really fun one to watch. So go check it out. And maybe once that airs, then I'll come back and talk more about it. Well, that is all the questions we have time for today. Thank you so much for asking them. My NGL link is in my link in my Instagram at The Haley Kenyon. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, find me on Instagram, and go follow the blog as well. And find me over on the Instagram. I hang out there literally every single day. So if you want to see me, that's where you should see me. And let me know what kind of videos you want to see next. Do you like more Q&As? Do you want to talk about more health stuff? Some of my blog topics, bring them over to the video content. What you want, I'm here for you. All right, guys, well, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. I love you all so much, and thanks for watching.